Good morning. It's after midnight, so make sure you don't feed your mogwais. And welcome to Lost Begotten's Fish Tank Stuff. Today we are going to say hello to Tatsuki and Kenny. Hello, Tatsuki and Kenny. Why is it all fingerprint on the screen? There you go. Fingerprint. Anyway, so here we have my live sump refugium. I always call it my bottom tank. It's a tank that's on the bottom. And it houses my return pump for both systems, but or three systems. How many systems do I got here? I don't know. But this return pump here, for all intents and purposes, could just be going to the top tank here. And as you can see, it's a nice pretty reef tank with rose bubble tips and green bubble tips and lots of clownfish, and yeah, looks pretty nice for a 20 long. And other than the protein skimmer I have hanging on the back of the other tank, this is it as far as my filtration. Like if I was just to have that reef tank up there, I would run just this and it would be just fine. Because I have the clownfish and I have all, like the broodstock tank and that good stuff. I have, this tub and I have more clownfish in there and I have the extra skimmer in there, and that also compensates for the green water runoff. I actually recycle the green water in there, and then the protein skimmer churns it all out for me and blah blah blah. But if you're not a crazy person like me, and you just want to have a 20 over a 20, which is a really good looking setup in my opinion, here's what you do. And this has been a long time coming for me, and I finally got everything I wanted to have this set up. It's kind of how I had my old setup in a 10 gallon, only better. So my flow is right there, falling down kind of across the surface of the live rock, and basically spins around in this chamber here. And if I could have anything changed about this, I would have my hang on the back skimmer over in this section to provide additional flow for this color prolifera, which is the seagrass that I've been wanting for a long time. And I have this divider here, and this divider has slots on the top and at the bottom. Top slots let you maintain your water level and keep a small amount of flow through there. The bottom slots you cover with sand, and they have slow flow due to the pressure difference between this chamber and that chamber. There is some water leaking from one side to the next around the sides, but that's just fine for me. I'm not trying to get all the flow through the sand. I'm just trying to get a tiny amount of flow to the sand, preferably not with a lot of air bubbles. So I have my wall of rock. I have the water breaking on this side of it. It vortexes around and kind of slow flows through the rock, then slow flows through the sand. What doesn't flow through the sand has a chance, at least, a percentile chance, about 15% of it, is going to go through this chaeda right here. It's small right now, but it's growing pretty rapidly, and once it gets to a substantial size, it'll cover between 15 and maybe 35% of the upper flow, because the other side doesn't have, the other side's basically pushed against the other side, so there's no flow on the other side. All the flow is on this side right here, and you can occasionally see the gravel get kicked up right here in this corner, and that's what keeps this chaeda spinning right here. But you have several times return. You have live rock in both systems. You have basically everything constantly filtering, so this just needs a chance to uptake some of the nutrients and keep the levels down. So the water's going to flow down here, it's going to break down through there. Any residual ammonia is It's probably going to get broken down by the bacteria on the live rock. You have a sand bed in here that you can keep clean with a siphon, only not too well, okay? But this is your live refugium, and you should have pods and bristle worms just out the wazoo in here. Over here, this sand, I don't know if you can see it. Sand's about 3.5, almost 4 inches deep. But this is the sand that you want to keep pristine, just really, really clean. And as long as that sand is clean, you have a very efficient, very powerful nitrate reducing machine. And yeah, doesn't cost a whole lot. And you know, siphoning your sand is just the best way to be taking water out of your aquarium when you do your water changes. And you should be doing your water changes every 2 weeks to replenish your nutrients anyways, unless you have at least your 120 gallon system. But I just wanted to share, because I've been talking about getting it set up like this for a long time, and I finally have it, and it's working out pretty well. I mean, as you can see, actually the rock down here, after my grass, I've had a chance to get everything taken care of. The rock down here is actually pretty good looking. Got a lot of coralline algae and sponges on it. A lot of aptasia too, though. But I could just move Myrtle down here, and she will take care of the aptasia. Myrtle was picking at my. She bit Mai's. She actually bit, like nipped at Mai's fins and like did some damage. I cannot believe Mai did not just like kick her ass. I guess the pine coney skin makes her pretty tough. Anyways, she's of course happy being invisible in there. We see you, Myrtle. Anyways, thanks for watching, everybody. Like and make sure you subscribe. Peace.